Alright, welcome back. This is Mr. Rains. You should be on page 2 of your ebook. Today I want to teach you some things on the computer here. First of all, you have your toolbar down here and you have icons. The icon that you're going to need mostly is Google Chrome. Now if you don't have Google Chrome, you can use this Mozilla Firefox. You can download this for free on the internet. Now if you need to find the book, the ebook, and you don't know what the URL is, excuse me, I'm sorry. I woke up early this morning. You don't know what the URL is, you just go to Google Chrome, double click on it or tap it if you have a touch screen. And I said my name is Mr. Rains, so you could just type in Mr. Rains. That's it. And then the first thing that comes up on Google will be my 11th grade English language arts class. You click on that. And if you look here, I have my 11th grade class, I have my AP class, and then I have the ebook. So you can click there. And then obviously you can see the familiar picture here. And you click on Start the Travel Adventures of Mr. Sneaky Duck and Edgar Allan Crow. Boom. So no matter where you are in the world, you can always get your book. All the time, the reading is going to be on the right hand side here, and the videos are going to be on this side. There will be sometimes me talking to you in my chair, like the first one, and sometimes just me showing you things on the screen and you don't see my face. Please don't be too happy about that. And always the work is going to be one of the last things on here. You do have to get the work done on every page to get a grade and to progress. The links to the next page will be on the video. So when you finish with the video, it will say on to the next page of the ebook, and you can click on that and you can go to the next page. Or if you're in the software here and you don't feel like doing that, you can scroll all the way down as far as you can and then go all the way down the bottom, and that will be going to the next page. I made it tiny because I'd rather that you watch the videos. They're intended to help you. So click, and that would be page 2, and that's where we are. And if you remember, I said the types of things that we're going to do. I had a list in the last video, how we roll. First, I'm going to read aloud and think aloud with you. So I'll read the same thing that you should have read already. And if I have any thoughts, I'll just think out loud. And that's how I always read. I try to put myself in the story. But I was actually in this story. What we learned last time, and actually that's what we're covering right now, so we shouldn't actually do that yet. And what we'll learn this time, and shortcuts and computer tips. So that's exactly what we're going to do. Let's go back to the book, the ebook. If you want to expand the screen, you can go like this. You see those 3 dots? You just click there, and that square makes your window full screen. Getting to know Mr. Sneaky Duck. Mr. Duck was born in December of 2003, which is strange for an American Peking duck. As Mr. Duck tells the story, he was born on a farm in Hokkaido, Japan. Now sometimes I'll have little, it'll be a different color here. You can click on that, Clickety, and it should open up in a new window. And it'll have some information for you. Sometimes it will show you exactly where on the map it is, and you could zoom out by either pinching your screen or using your mouse pad. You can pinch that, and there's Japan. If you move over, you can see that we're in the United States over here. Japan's pretty far away, and yes, the eBook disappeared, so it didn't open in a new window. I have to hit the back button, back, until I get to the eBook. There we are. Now, how would I make sure that this opens in a different tab here? Well, that's easy. You highlight the word, so click and hold your button, or touch and hold, and highlight just the word. And you can right click on it, and it will say open link in new window, or open link incognito window. So you could open it in new tab as well. So that's right there, that's a tab. Open a new tab. Boom. So now I can look and see what a Peking duck is, because I've never heard of that. Well, I have, but maybe you haven't. And so you look at that, and you can read about it if you wanted to. As Mr. Duck tells a story, he was born on a farm in Hokkaido, Japan. We saw where that was. There was a big mistake one day on this farm, on his farm. Someone mislabeled his sleeping crate to say Peking duck, and he was shipped off to a Chinese restaurant in Hokkaido, Japan. So let's look at what is Peking duck. So let's highlight this, just in case it's not a link. If it's a link, you could just click on it, and it'll say what Peking duck is. Peking duck, oh, it's a Chinese dish. So they mistook him for being a type of duck that you would eat, and he's not that. He was shipped off to a Chinese restaurant in Hokkaido, Japan. When he had his chance, though, he escaped from the shipping truck and flew to a nearby house, which was my neighbor's house. This is when Edgar and I think that Mr. Duck's wing feathers were clipped incorrectly, so he couldn't fly. I think the little boy that lived in the home wanted him for a pet, but didn't want Mr. Duck to fly away. I found Mr. Duck one day in my suitcase when I traveled to Kyoto. That's when he got the nickname Sneaky, because he snuck into my suitcase. So if you've never seen a bird, or a duck for that matter, get its feathers clipped, again, you can go here and look at this one. Open a new tab, see what's going on with clipping birds' feathers.
Are you excited? I'm going to teach you how to clip the flight feather wings on a duck. Now, these feathers will completely grow back, and this does not hurt the bird at all.
You know what? Mr. Ducks never grew back because they clipped them incorrectly. So he's very kind of conscious about that, self-conscious.
If you have birds that get locked out and could become prey to coyotes or something, they need their feathers. If you're new to this, it might be beneficial to have somebody hold the bird for you while you clip the wings, or to even wrap them in a towel. He's a pro at this, so I'm going to do neither. What we're going to do is we're going to clip his primary flight feathers, and that's these ones down here, right across the see and tell.
I'm just going to fast forward it. Oh! You see how that can be traumatic for a duck?
Feathers off.
I can't watch this. Anyway, no, it doesn't really hurt the duck at all. It just keeps them from being able to fly away, especially if they're a pet. So let's close that. Close this. Go back here. I already finished reading this. So now you can take this pre-quiz. This pre-quiz really doesn't have anything to do with the reading over here, but I would like you to take this because after you're finished with the ebook, you should do better on the post quiz. You see what I mean? So I wouldn't worry about it if this is very difficult for you, because at the end it won't be. Now on to the next item that I wanted to talk about. What we learned last time, what we're going to learn this time. Well, shortcuts and computer tips is what we're going to learn this time. Now remember what I told you, my philosophy? On Springboard, which is a textbook that you might use, you can always highlight a word on their software, and their software has something that pops up, and it's very nice for you. You can highlight it, you can mark the text and write yourself a note, you can give yourself a sticky note, you can define it, you can add to a vocabulary, so you can do a lot of things, and that's really good. But what that makes me think about students is, well, what happens if you're on a different page and you want to find out information about words and stuff? And that's one reason I told you to use Google Chrome here. Let's go back to it. So if I have to look up a word and I don't have a special software, that's okay, because you can just highlight it, you click and drag, or you touch and drag, and on a tablet you would just hold your finger on this for a while and then let go slowly, and then a little box would come up like this. Now it says cut, copy. There's a lot of things down here. I'm going to have to cut this out of the video because I'm going to do a different page. Let's say you went to Google and you typed something like, I don't know, you want to find out about ducks for some reason. Clipping wings. And they came up with a word you didn't understand, like unbalanced. You could click on it, drag, and highlight it, or touch and drag to highlight. Sometimes you don't have to drag anymore on the tablets. You can just touch the one word. But if you touch it for a long time and then let go, the same thing happens as the right click button. So you right click and it says search Google for unbalanced. So now I can search Google for unbalanced, and I can figure out the definition of the word if I wanted to. It will come up automatically. And then anything having to do with unbalanced will come up. I can get images. Maybe there's something that's not balanced there. I can get videos of something that's unbalanced. I get news of something that's imbalanced. I can go shopping. Maybe they're going to give me some type of balance. And there are a lot more. Books and flights, but that doesn't apply to you. So again, how did you do that? You just highlight on any word. You click on your mouse button and drag. Now, like I said, there on the mouse button, if you look at this, there is the left button here and the right click button. When I say right click, I'm talking about this one, the one that you hardly ever click on with. If you just have a tablet, that would be the right click. If it doesn't have these buttons up here, you would have to click in the corner of just the pad here on the right. So you can see that there are a lot of ways that you can look up words. Even in my software here, in this ebook, you want to find out what a duck is, you highlight it, right click, and go to search Google for duck. Boom. Comes up. Like I said, you can do anything and find out any information you want to about ducks now. You can even hear a duck if you wanted to. There it is, as quickly as that. So if there are words, excuse me, if there are words in here that you can't understand, just highlight it, right click, or touch for a long time, let go, and the box pops open. And when the box pops open, it'll look something like this. It may just have copy and then a couple of dots. You might want to click on the couple of dots and see that you can also search Google for shipped. Okay, now here's something very interesting. A lot of you young ladies and young men do not speak English as well as everybody else, but guess what? Everybody else doesn't speak your language either. So you have a very good advantage over other people, and all you have to do really is learn English better. So that's good. But if you're learning English, you can go to Translate and hit Enter, and then this box will pop open. This can detect that you're speaking English or writing English. So if I say hello, and this is English too, it's translating from English to English, that doesn't help us. But I speak Spanish. So I go down to Spanish, or you could hit S and it'll give you a shortcut to S. And click on Spanish, and it says hola. But what if I don't know how to say that in Spanish?
Hola.
What if I don't know how to say it in English?
Hello.
See, we can even listen to how it's pronounced. So we can learn a completely different language. And if you're just interested for the moment to see how somebody that is, I don't know, I have some friends who are Hmong. So let's see if they have that language here. Yes, they do. How would I say hello in Hmong? Oh, it doesn't have it, the pronunciation, but I can do my best. Nyobzu. Anyway, you don't have to worry if there's a word you don't understand in English. You can find out what it means in your language. I think that's enough for right now. I'm going to figure out what I talked about and give you a little quiz on the next page about some of those shortcuts and things that I told you. Thank you. Have a good day.